Oh my God, sloth, damn, sloth. Chemical alert like bats on the ceiling. Black on my cape, can't see what I'm dealing. Black in my heart, can't feel any feeling with my sloth ass slut, so I gotta keep.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Completely Useless Podcast. How you doing, Frank?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm tired.
You tired?
Yeah,
Me too.
I'm tired.
I just got tired right now.
Yeah?
Maybe because I was like, I gotta talk to Frank for an hour.
Fuck you, okay?
I'm just kidding. I look forward to this.
Yeah,
Getting
me
me
too.
through the quarantine. Remember I said we shouldn't do it through the quarantine?
Yeah, I remember
I
that.
wanted to take a break. I
Yeah.
think I would have blown my brains off already if we weren't doing it.
Well, that's good that we are doing it then. Fuck.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. You
I have a
know,
lot of fun.
yeah, it's pretty interesting how it's going. I've had a few job offers, and I keep telling them no. So I'm kind of happy about that.
Why?
Because I don't want to work full. I'm making good money not working. Why would I give making good money not working to go back to
This
work?
is why people hate Mexicans.
Why?
Because they take advantage of the government
I'm
money.
not
they get.
taking advantage of the government. I had job offers the day I lost my job.
You're supposed to be doing what you can to get a job so that you don't have to get assistance.
I am.
We might not want to put this in the podcast. It's incriminating. So
No, I am, but I don't want to go.
Edit this shit out.
I should clarify. I don't want to go back to a job that I don't like. If I can take this time to educate myself to get to a place where I want to go, then that's what I'm doing. So
Okay.
I think that's the difference. I'm not like sitting just collecting checks and just blowing money. That would be also cool, but I'm not doing that. So
Dude, I was so pissed when I got home.
why?
We were driving, and we're gonna turn left, right?
Hmm.
So we're about to get on the lane, the turning lane.
Yeah.
We're not on the actual turning lane yet. If people overseas are listening to us, so probably our roads will be kind of weird to you, but you got to go into a different lane. I don't know how it is over there. Here, you got to go into a separate lane that splits off the main road, and you got to turn right there. And there's arrows usually on the traffic lights. So we're getting on that lane. Someone's coming from in front of us on the other side, right?
Hmm.
And I guess he really desperately needed to go to the 7-Eleven on the other side because he cut into opposite traffic,
Oh shit.
into the turning lane that we were getting on at the moment. He cut into the turning lane, opposite traffic, and I started yelling at him,
Yeah.
and I was in the passenger side because he's right in front of us, right? And he turns, and then he goes into the 7-Eleven because 7-Eleven, he needed that.
Yeah.
He needed that, and he did that piece of shit move because he needed to go to 7-Eleven. He couldn't go to the next turning thing.
Maybe he really
And
needed a Slurpee, dog. You don't know.
I was like, I hope he dies, dude.
Yeah.
I was so mad that I was like, I told my driver, I hope he dies right now. I really do. I was like, I hope he gets off his car. I was watching him park, and I was ready to yell at him. This is how mad I get. I'm a super chill guy. You know that. I don't get mad. Have you ever seen me mad?
Not really.
Right? But like when it comes to things like that,
Yeah.
so mad. It's not that hard to be a decent human being and a decent driver.
Yeah. I think
And I
right
guess-
now with quarantine, like from what I've observed on the road, a lot of people are taking a lot of chances because I guess they feel like maybe there aren't a lot of cops out. But I swear, every time I drive, there's always people speeding like crazy. Like I'll be going 80 on the fast lane, and people are trying to go like 100, 120. And then I always see cops pulling people over because people are being idiots. So that's the only thing that sucks.
Almost every morning on my way to work, I see somebody pulled over.
Yeah.
On that same street that we were at
Yeah.
when this happened. But
People don't learn.
this guy, and then also like, I'm already like tired of white people, and the guy was white, he had the Proud Boy. I'm not saying he was racist.
Yeah.
Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. But he was this white guy that had that Proud Boy haircut, the comb over that all those white nationalists are getting. He had that haircut, right? So
Yeah.
that added to my, look at this piece of shit.
He had the good old boy haircut.
Yeah, the Proud Boy haircut. the Nazi haircut.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I really hope. I was like, I hope he dies, and then I hope I meet like his girlfriend, and then I watch her die too. That's how mad I was.
Have you've seen that meme online that's going around that's saying Karen is just as bad as saying the N-word? Like, do you think?
Because Karens have gone through exactly the same suffering as black people have, right?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Do you think
Did
that
you hear about the Karen that got shot up for running in her neighborhood?
just for having a jog? I know. I feel
that's
like
why I don't like white. That's why I don't like white people.
I definitely feel like there's people out there like that. I don't think it's as widespread as the meme suggests. I think there are Karens out there. I don't think that there are Karens that are getting mad that you're calling them Karen as much. As
there is Karens that are getting mad that you're calling
about
them
it.
Karens.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for sure. I do agree with. I don't think anything is as widespread as memes imply. You know, anything at all.
Yeah,
like even like
that's what makes them funny, right? The exaggeration that goes into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's part of meme culture. But there definitely is Karens getting mad, which is funny because that's like the most Karen thing you could do.
Yeah, right? You know? I think my favorite thing so far has been OK Boomer. Like that for me, like I've never had a meme like super hit home, but OK Boomer hit home so hard for me. And it's to the point where like I joke around with it with my parents. Like they know, you know, I don't ever say it in a way that I'm like, I really mean it. But like every once in a while, I'll see my mom getting worked out. I'm like, OK Boomer, and she actually, because she knows it's a joke, she like is okay with it. But I could see like people like getting upset. Like I could like I'm saying it in the street to somebody that you don't really know. I could see that would make me laugh to see somebody get upset over that.
I almost said that the other day to so for but if listeners don't know this, my day job is a yard manager in a warehouse. So I talk to truck drivers, you know, semi truck drivers. You know, I talk to them all day and they come and, you know, I check them in, check the paperwork, check all this shit, right? And then safety and stuff. It's part of my job. Mm-hmm. But usually I'm in the shack and the trucks stop there. There's a stop sign. And I start writing all their info in the truck because you can see numbers that you need to write down, plates, the trailer and stuff like that, right? Usually the guys, while I'm writing down, the driver gets out because he needs to show me his ID and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes they don't, but I was writing it, and this guy wasn't getting out. Older cat. He wasn't getting out. So I said, I don't care, you know?
Yeah.
I do prefer that they get out, but I don't care. If it's not going to be waiting or tell him anything, I just get out and go talk to him and go to his side. And he starts, like, laughing, like he starts being a dick.
Yeah.
He goes, why did you wait to get out why were you writing that stuff down if you're still going to have to get out? And I'm like, why does that matter? Why does it matter where I write it? Or like, you still got to wait for me to write it. Even if I'm outside, I got to write it. And then I got to talk to you. So who cares? And he's like, oh, you millennials are a whole different thing. I almost went, okay, boomer.
What? You know? I don't even get what he's like upset about you did.
I think he wasn't like upset.
Yeah.
But he was just trying to act cool, you know?
Yeah.
I got this 50-year-old man trying to act cool, you know? But that's what I was like, why? I'm like, why is that an issue?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Where everybody's like, oh, you millennials, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's so fucking funny.
Oh, I'm just saying, and then blah, blah, blah. I'm like, don't just say things.
Yeah.
Park over here, and then go in this office, and I just told him what to do. But it's like, he just wanted to say the word millennials because he's been seeing it on the internet a lot. Yeah. He's seen it on Facebook a lot.
He wanted to try it out.
This guy's young. Yeah. I was like, this guy's young, you know?
He wanted to take it out for a test drive and see how it worked with him. That's so funny.
And I caught that while he was telling me.
Yeah.
And I was like, should I just make him feel stupid? Or should I take it easy? I mean, what am I going to get if I make him feel stupid, you know? I was just like, cool, man. Go ahead and do this. Dick. Okay, let's talk about the biggest news in podcasting world, probably so far. Yesterday, the news got out, right, that Joe Rogan signed a podcast on Spotify, which is an absolute power move from Spotify, I think.
Oh, I think it's a power move for him, if anything, because the thing is, like, podcasting is it's still, even today, even though it's been around for so long, it's such an open platform, different from other media, because, like, most media outlets have already that kind of exclusivity. Like HBO has, so, like, just like them releasing the Snyder Cut. That's a huge move for HBO.
That's crazy. We're going to talk about that in a little bit too.
For sure. There's that.
Yeah, but Spotify,
like,
Spotify last year, Spotify has spent so much money in the past 2 years just in podcasting.
Everyone has on it, dude. When I went to Podcast Movement and I was hearing the numbers from everyone, like Sony just spent $500,000 last year getting podcasts so they can create their own network.
Spotify has spent.
Spotify
has spent hundreds of millions of dollars on that.
I'm sure. I think with this move, Spotify is getting ready to really change the game in podcasting, and for them to pull a power move like that, like, it's fucking crazy.
It's huge. Because I mean, last year they bought Anchor, which is a streaming service where you could put tools. It has tools to help you publish your podcast, right? Mm-hmm. They bought, I think I have my notes right here, Parcast, which is a big network. Mm-hmm. Was a big network for true crime and mystery and stuff like that. They bought that, and they bought another one that has several really popular podcasts, you know. Mm-hmm. And then the Joe Rogan one, and that's because I think I was reading in part is because there's a lot of censorship on a lot of things
on YouTube specifically.
Google own things.
Yeah. Well, specifically, the biggest thing is that because he makes so much money from ad revenue from YouTube and view revenue, but YouTube will demonetize your videos if it breaches their agreement. And I mean, his podcast is pretty open as far as the forum. So he had a lot of videos that were getting millions of views, but he wasn't getting paid for them. So it only makes sense that, like, it was smart for him to hold on this long and wait for, like, a good deal that I'm sure he also had a lot to do with, you know? I think he was waiting for the right platform to kind of come across for him. But
he definitely wanted to leave YouTube because of them censoring him.
Yeah.
I was reading something that he was trying to have doctors and stuff that have different views than, you know, the widely accepted views on the coronavirus.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get that made because nobody was going to watch it because of where it was at. Yeah, you know, so it's just good. I think it's good for podcasting.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I was listening to Gary. You know Gary V?
Mm-mm.
Gary V he's a really big business guy. He was one of the first, like, people to use YouTube as a business source to expand his business on a social media platform. And he went from his dad's wine business from being $100,000 business to $1 million business in like 2 years.
Wow.
He does a lot of talking on you know, self-help and, like, business and how you should do it. He's really raw. You know, he's very up, like, Joe Rogan's alley as far as, like, how he puts his stuff out there. And he actually did a little video talking about it and how it was really smart for Joe to spread himself out on all the platforms and get himself really well known on all of them, and then using that momentum to pick the right moment to when to go exclusive. Because now, since he has such he's the #1 podcast in the world, and from my understanding, the #1 broadcaster across all fields in the world right now.
That's wild, dude.
So for him to wait and then go exclusive, I mean, whatever money he's making from that must be fucking phenomenal.
I read a bunch of articles. It's not like they don't know for sure, but a bunch of experts and a bunch of people that have ties to stuff like that think it was over $100 million.
Oh, it has to be. There's no way.
Over $100 million.
The thing is, like, I'm sure that he doesn't have. I don't know what the deal was. But I haven't heard him do an ad on his podcast in a while. At least not in the front, you know. So I'm sure that he has other ways of doing that kind of ad revenue stuff, but yeah, it's for him. It's just him making content now, not having to worry about other stuff besides probably his merch.
Yeah.
So.
And it's, what is it, 5 years? In 5 years, we'll see what happens.
But
5 years, 5 years, $100 million in 5 years. That's insane.
The crazy thing too is that, like, even let's say he stops in another world, he stops doing UFC commentating, he stops doing stand-up. Just this alone is crazy. So he'll have this until he dies, I'm sure. Like, I don't see the podcast going anywhere. And the fact that Spotify has it up for a video too, I didn't see that coming. I thought it was just exclusive audio, but apparently the video as well. So I'm really excited for that. If anything, that makes me want to, because Spotify, for me, it's my main listening source for stuff.
Oh yeah,
YouTube is probably my second.
It's the number one, streaming platform in the world.
Yeah. So I mean, look what it did to fucking, what's that other one that Jay-Z and Daft Punk Tidal. Dude, that thing, I thought that thing was gonna blow up hard because of all the names attached to it, and it hasn't done shit. I think Sprint still gives it away for free. It doesn't really do anything.
Because you gotta look at the wider thing. It did have a lot of big names attached to them, but it was also kind of pricey, right? It was
honestly, I didn't even look at it. I'm paying $10 a month with Spotify, but
I'll pay $10 a month for Spotify because it also has everything I want to listen to.
For me, the biggest thing with Spotify that honestly keeps me around, besides the fact that I'm actually in a bundle deal with Hulu and Spotify, so I get both for the same price. But also the fact that Spotify has that Discover weekly playlist that they put together for you.
Mm-hmm.
Super smart, because not only is it reading the music that I like and then giving me more of something similar, but it's always exposing me into new stuff. That's a really smart way, because that's what I used to like Pandora for, because you would start a radio and you would start listening to other stuff that was similar.
Right.
But I think just Spotify has such a huge range of music on there that
and the thing,
other things
Pandora was random things. It was good discovering other things, but sometimes I just want to hear one artist.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just want to hear this album from this artist because I like it a lot.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Honestly, the other day I was looking up bands that specifically are nerd-based bands, so they only play covers of TV shows, or
you ever heard of Oakley Dokley?
Yeah, like that, like Oakley Dokley, or this new band I just heard of. They're pretty cool. They're called Power Glove. And they're a metal band, and they cover they did a cover of the Power Rangers theme song. They did a cover of Inspector Gadget. They do a bunch of shit like that, and it's fucking cool. Or I don't know if you've ever heard of have you heard of the Proto Men?
No.
So the Proto Men are a band that they basically wrote an opera based on Mega Man.
Oh,
and
cool.
It's from the point, it's from the point of view of the first robot, Proto Man, which is essentially Mega Man's older brother. So it's kind of cool. They did 2 acts. So they had the first album, and then they had Act 2, the second album, and then they did an all 80s cover album. If you get a chance, check them out. The first albums, all their albums are amazing, but the first one really hits home with some crazy cool stuff, and then the cover album is fucking amazing too.
Yeah, have you ever heard of Harry and the Potters?
No, but that sounds fucking dope as shit. No,
I've never heard their music, but I know they're a thing.
I have to check it out.
Might not be anymore. I don't care.
Those bands like that really are a one album band for the most part. They do an album, and it's just exactly exactly. So, but either way, stuff like that's pretty cool. Honestly,
it is. I used to love the singer from what's the name of the band? I forgot. I used to like them a lot. It's not Lamb of God. As I Lay Dying.
Oh yeah.
Tim Lambesis, whatever his name is.
Didn't he go to jail?
Yeah, he's out already. He's been out for he got out maybe 3 years ago.
Okay.
It was wild though. Oh.
Yeah, wasn't he planning on murdering his wife?
He went to jail because he was trying to hire a hitman.
Oh, he pulled
his wife.
He pulled the Joe Exotic.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much exactly. Because he was trying to hire, like he was in the process of divorcing his wife.
Yeah.
She was going to take everything from him. So he was hired a hitman to have her killed. Hitman turned out to be law enforcement. So I think he only got like 5 years though.
Yeah, I know he didn't get like a long sentence, which is still pretty crazy. So
yeah,
either he had a really good.
I really thought he was gonna be in there for like 20 years.
Well, I mean, look at it, like from I don't know a lot about like concrete law, but I like it and I try to learn as much as I can. Like
I know a lot about bird law. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, this fucking guy.
It's always sunny in Philadelphia. To educate yourself, Frank.
Oh, okay. But yeah, from my understanding, like it all comes down to what they can prove, and obviously it was enough to prove that he had the intent of hiring somebody. But even then, like I mean, if you look at what happened to Joe Exotic, like they really had to go after him and really wanted him, otherwise he wasn't going to go to jail. You know, they must have not had enough to put him away for a really long time because 5 years is nothing for planning a murder. Like, didn't Joe get like fucking 25 years or something?
I don't remember exactly how much, but it was like he's gonna die in prison.
Yeah, but I mean, I think they had other stuff too. But either way,
yeah, there was a lot of things in there.
To plan a murder and get out in 5 years, that's.
Oh, and there was also the thing about embezzling money, right?
Oh,
he was taking money from. He was taking. I don't know if that's what it's called. I don't know, but he was taking money from the shoe to run his campaign, which apparently is illegal.
Oh, yeah. So it's illegal because he was stealing the money. That was
part of it. Yeah, exactly.
It was illegal because he was stealing.
It was like on the low, right?
Yeah, like his business partner didn't know that he was doing that, and that's why it was illegal because he was just taking it without doing any. I don't necessarily think it's called embezzlement. I could be wrong, but I thought embezzlement was.
It's not like embezzling money.
I thought embezzlement was when you take money and then put it into another business. No, that's money laundering. Never mind. I think it is embezzling money. I
think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds right.
Right? You know? I know. Whatever. We're not experts.
Often I do that? You know how often I do that? I just throw words in there that I think go there. Nobody ever corrects me, so.
Pablo and Frank, attorneys at law. We're not lawyers yet, but we'll do this commercial pretty damn fucking good.
We know some big words. Yeah. We don't know what they mean, but
that's so funny.
We'll say them. We should try to do that. We should try to do
a lawyer commercial.
I drive by when I'm driving down the street. There's an ad for a lawyer that goes by Sweet James.
Oh, I've seen those. We had this conversation before.
What kind of person is gonna hire a lawyer?
Hey man,
Sweet James.
Hey, you're telling me right now that if you were in a pinch and you're like, fuck, I need to call a lawyer, what's the first thing that's going to pop up because you remembered that shit?
Probably Sweet James.
Hey, I hate that.
It will pop up, but I would not call him.
You're a fucking liar. You'd be like, I got drunk at Sweet James. Where are you?
No, but also that seems like it's on our alley.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I think the guy would appreciate it if you do a funny ad for him. Because he goes by Sweet James.
We should call him and tell him we're influencers. Please let us do a commercial for you.
Yeah. We influence 16 people a week.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, 16 people that probably all of them have been to jail recently. Okay, so yeah, I think he would like that.
No offense to any of you guys.
No, please keep listening.
And we love you.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. If you do, I'll find you. I have a particular set of skills.
He can't do anything.
No, I know. I'll find you.
Tie his shoes.
But I'll cry until you listen to our podcast again. That's how it'll go.
You're like, all right. Yeah. All right. Also, big news this week in the nerd realms. Zack Snyder is releasing his cut of the Justice League movie.
Fuck! It's going to be so good.
Something that I never thought I would see.
Yeah.
Just because it seems like it's the studio admitting defeat.
What?
Like, because it's like them admitting that they fucked up the movie and they have to rectify it.
I don't think so.
You know what I mean?
I don't think so. I think because the studio, HBO and Warner Brothers are both paying upwards of, I believe, from what I read, it was 20 to 30 million to get the Snyder cut out.
Not
So,
each combined.
No, combined. Yeah, not each combined. But I think they just know that they're gonna set, like, everybody's gonna tune in to watch it. So much so that from what I hear, and these are just rumors, but from what I hear, they're thinking about chopping it up to a 6 episode, like six mini series.
Which
6 episodes.
Which is cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, I would almost be more excited for the 6 episodes, but also it kind of sucks because
I think it's gonna be better. I think it's gonna be better than what he could have released in theaters.
Yeah.
If you do, they're saying it's either a 4-hour movie or a miniseries, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all that is gonna be much better, and it's gonna have more information and more things you want to see than anything he could have released. He could have gone 3 hours tops in the theater.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, from my understanding, they're gonna do, like, not only are they gonna have to re-edit everything that they have cut up. He's gonna actually have some of the actors come back into the studio to record voice lines. For that, including Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck is gonna have to come back to redo some lines for the movie. So it's going to have some different dialogue. It's going to have a different feel to it. I'm pretty excited to see what the possibilities are. I'm really hoping, and that's what I don't want to see happen, is I'm hoping that it's that much different from the movie. Like, it really is, like, I'm watching it and I don't feel like I'm watching the movie that I just saw, or the movie that I saw previously.
It better be, because, and this is what I hate about the whole community. Everyone's so toxic that it's always like, I'm a Marvel fan, from the cartoons to the graphic novels, the comic book stuff, you know. I don't know that much. I mean, I love Batman and shit. I don't know that much about the whole thing, but there's a lot of DC fans that swear up and down that those movies that we're getting now, the shitty ones, are better than the Marvel movies because they're dark or whatever, right? And I always get into arguments with people like that. So now, but my thing is always like, Batman vs. Superman was his movie, and that movie was not good. Yeah. So what makes you think that the Justice League was going to be a good movie, and that it just got ruined because another director, you know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing, is like, it's not even that, like, he didn't get to do any, like, they were so not that far into the movie that they had to reshoot a ton of shit for the movie.
He shot it. It was in post already. It was in post-production. But that's also, I guess,
from my understanding, they did a ton of reshoots.
Yeah, they did.
That made it into the movie that did that. So there was a lot of stuff that was already shot that was on the cutting room floor that didn't make it.
Yeah, Zack Snyder. Yeah, that was a big problem. But Zack Snyder had a movie in mind. He shot it. It was in post already. But then when he had to leave, tragically because of personal things, when they brought Josh into it and the studio got into it, they were like, "No, let's just make it different." And that's why they had so many reshoots, that it was a completely different movie at the end of the day, right? But
yeah, I mean,
even that doesn't guarantee that the movie was going to be good. And I've gotten in so many arguments with people over it.
Well, I mean, we'll finally see now.
Now we're going to get something that's better than anything he could have put out in theaters, which is good. But I also don't want them to win. You know?
You're being petty about it? Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I am. I'm very excited to see that movie.
But also, I
want them to release the bad movie that he was going to release. So that it could be like, yeah, you see, were you fighting for this for 3 years?
I want to see, what I'm excited for also is the possibilities that if this movie is released the way that we like, in a way that's well received, can that mean that we're going to receive a different style of universe going forward? You know, because the movies are so separate coming out. Aquaman is very much its own thing. Wonder Woman, very much its own thing. I mean, even the new Wonder Woman going forward, all the movies that are planned to come out aren't really connected to the universe. Like, I mean, they are in the sense that they take place in it, but they're not moving the story along.
Right.
You know,
which is what they need to do if they're And
So
that was the problem. That was the problem in the beginning because they were trying to do that, but they were so desperate and rushing to it so much to catch up to Marvel that the movies were so convoluted that nothing made sense.
No, I
That's
agree.
that's what I hated about Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
At one point, you can't even tell what's a flashback, what's a dream sequence, what's, if it's already real.
The nightmare sequence was hard to get into because you're like, wait, was he in the future or what happened? Is that real? But no, now they're saying it's a vision, and then the Flash comes back,
and the Flash was there.
Yeah, and you're like,
did he have something to do with the vision? Is he still dreaming right now when he sees the Flash, or is this like real?
That's the thing.
A mess.
To me, is like the DC animated universe, which makes me sad that it's now like they've officially ended it. It's no longer a thing.
They're gonna start it up again. That's why they're doing it.
I know, but it's so good already. Like even the movies that don't, because there are movies that they have that actually connect, and they're like they have standalone movies that take place in the same universe, but don't necessarily have anything to do with one another. But like Flashpoint is fucking awesome. Red Hood is fucking awesome. What's the new one? I haven't even seen the new one, and I've seen clips, and I'm like, shit, I need to fucking watch that.
The Superman one, right?
They released Justice League Dark 2.
Oh,
it's Justice League Dark, the Apocalypse War, and dude, you'll love it a lot, honestly, because the first Justice League Dark was fucking good. That shit was great, but this second one. Basically, and just to give a little bit of a synopsis, Darkseid actually comes and it goes to war with the Justice League, and you get to see what the aftermath is, and it is fucking like they take it to some places that I wasn't familiar with, but I was really excited to see. So definitely go and watch it.
They're dark. They're really dark. Some of them. What is it in Flashpoint? You see Wonder Woman killing kids.
Oh yeah, but that was again. These are pretty direct from the comic book.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's good about it. They're dark. They're not like for kids.
Exactly. And awesome. Flashpoint, like when they did this is why I would love to see like I believe there is a standalone comic where you get to see I can't remember Bruce's dad's name.
Thomas Wayne.
Where you see Thomas Wayne as Batman, and he's going after his wife. And you get to see it.
She's the Joker, right?
Yeah. So you get to see more into that. I mean, even like when you brought up Wonder Woman in that series was fucking brutal to the point where like she was having an affair with Aquaman, and she fucking kills Aquaman's wife, and then puts her fucking helmet on as a proud trophy. Like so that you get to see some crazy ass shit.
And that's that's the type of thing though that you're not going to see in the live action one. So
we'll see, because supposedly they're going to do a Flashpoint movie, which I would fucking love to see. Like
but they're going to change a lot of things from it. It's going to be Flashpoint in the sense that he goes to the future or the past or whatever. It's not going to be that storyline.
We'll see, man. I don't know. Like I said, I get it, because they do like Batman versus Superman, very different from how it is in the comics. But I would still love to see it on the big screen. Like it would be interesting to see what their interpretation is, even if it's not what I want. I would still be happy
that's what I'm saying. They're gonna do. Yeah, it would be interesting to see, and it's a perfect way for them to do like a soft reboot.
Yeah.
And disregard all the movies that were bad. It's like,
I almost think
it's like Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
Like what Days of Future Past did for the X-Men franchise.
Yeah.
Which kind of got ruined afterwards.
Oh, because of Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, it did Dark Phoenix, and then the movies after that just were not as good.
Yeah.
But Days of Future Past was great.
Oh yeah, Days of Future Past was pretty good.
And it was good. It was a good way to kind of rectify the third one that was really bad.
Yeah, I think they could use that to reboot, and I think depending on how good this next Batman movie is, they might try to bring the two together. Because I know that they're trying to keep them separate, but it would be really cool.
Matt Reeves is trying to.
If it comes out, so far it looks really fucking badass. So if it ends up being a really good movie, I would love to see them merge it and continue
so
it
far,
on.
And you know what? I think which another movie that's supposedly not part of the thing, which was Joker, which is also its own thing. But if you wanted to put them together, Robert Pattinson is the perfect age to be that little boy in Joker.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To be little Bruce Wayne. Robert Pattinson's the perfect age for that.
Yeah.
You know, like it would just make sense that
it would be
he
cool
grew up to become Batman.
Yeah, that definitely when he comes back. Well, what they could do, and what I would almost like to see, is if they do Flashpoint, it basically merges some of the worlds. Like he made some changes, and some of the changes are permanent. They're consequence of what he did.
Right.
And one of them is that maybe now the Joker from that world is now in this world. You know?
Yeah, even they don't even have to put them in this world, because I think you could have it if they don't want to. They don't want the creators, the people that did Joker, the people that did Batman one.
Mm-hmm.
They could have it be tied to it, but still separate.
Yeah,
so that you don't need that same. You don't need the same Joker in there.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because of the events of Flashpoint, now you have this Batman. That's that's
you know what would be really fucking cool is let's say they do this, and like you said, maybe there's like a tear in the time rip and they go into different universes or whatever, you know. Let's say that happens, and then we get to see Mark Hamill play like an older Joker. That would be cool. Fucking amazing. I would love that. That would be cool. That would be fucking trip.
Yeah, so, that'd be awesome, because he could do it well.
Oh, I mean, he's done it for so many years. So
I mean, voiceover, yeah,
but
we're talking live action now.
Yeah, but either way, I think like he's a good actor, so I think it wouldn't be that
that's
much.
What I'm saying. Yeah, he could do it well. It's a different thing, but he could do it well, definitely. And
they could even do like a storyline with multiple Jokers from different universes and have like
maybe not have them all in the same movie, because that's gonna be too much for.
I don't know. Even that, I would be fucking down with that.
See, this is exactly like what the problem was with Batman vs Superman. There was too much in it that they were trying to mash together. So if you have multiple Jokers, like
they did it in the comic books though.
In the comic books are a completely different thing. Movies are for a way wider audience. Audiences that don't even read comic books and are not interested in the comic books at all.
I get that.
A lot
but
of them. Most of them.
You could do it. It could be done. I would argue the fact that it could be done. Even if I had to be like an animated, because they just did a storyline not too long ago called Batman Metal, and basically what happens is a Joker-Batman combo, like it was a Batman that got infected by the Joker serum and becomes the Joker, basically orchestrates a bunch of like evil Batman.
Is that like the Batman Who Laughs or whatever?
Yeah, that storyline, yeah.
Okay, that looks interesting. But
it is fucking insane. That's
also a different thing that might not translate well to live action.
I get that. And like that's what I'm saying.
Sometimes less is more, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes you keep your stories linear and not try to put too much in it. And then on the next one you could do something else.
Yeah, I think that.
You plan a bunch of seats.
Yeah.
But this is what we started as a sort of reset thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You plant seeds the way Marvel plants seeds from the beginning that come out later, you know?
Yeah.
Like even in like small, like tiny little things. Like when you always hear them mentioning things that came out way in the future, you know? Or even like something as simple, this is what like the details that I like and the way they plant seeds. Something as simple as in the end of the first Iron Man, and there's a map in Nick Fury's place or whatever, and it has pinpointed Wakanda, and it has pinpointed Atlantis. So they were already showing interest in pursuing a Black Panther movie, and now there's a lot of rumors that Namor is gonna be the next bad guy in Black Panther 2, right? So like they were planting all those seeds like that, and there's so many things like that, and they could either take them or leave them.
Yeah,
they didn't. If they for some reason they couldn't do a Black Panther movie, that didn't matter. But that was still there to show you that there was a general plan.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Speaking of Marvel, I was actually reading today that they're, I guess, in the next Spider-Man movie, we might see 2 of the Defenders. I didn't see which ones, But
Cool.
it'll be cool to see them start to embark.
Luke Cage and Daredevil.
Daredevil would be a really good one because Daredevil has so many cross characters with Spider-Man. Kevin Smith wrote a good book about Mysterio going in, and Daredevil had to battle Mysterio, which was a really cool like cross of like the villains.
How does someone like Mysterio that relies on optical illusions, how does he battle a blind guy?
Well, he can also do like sound stuff.
Yeah, also sounds and stuff. Yeah, exactly. But that's already taking one thing away from it. You know? So it's an interesting matchup. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, that's a big
matchup.
Yeah, you know? But they have stuff like that. I mean, it would be it would be a great way to introduce the Kingpin, considering the Kingpin is both a big villain in Spider-Man and for Daredevil. That's like Kingpin is probably one of my favorite villains of all time, just because like I love the fact that he has like the money to do whatever he wants, but he also people just think he's a fat piece of shit, but he's also he's not fat, he's just so muscle that it looks like fat.
It's like all muscle.
So he can fuck people up.
He's actually also a really good martial artist.
Yeah, so it would be. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah.
You know what? The one thing I did like about that old Ben Affleck Daredevil movie is I did like Michael Clark Duncan as the Kingpin.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was all right. I just think they did like they did Bullseye so bad in that movie. But
for sure. There was a lot of very bad things in that movie.
Yeah. The Daredevil TV show though, the Netflix show, was so good. I mean, for them to do...
I never watched it.
It is so good. I'm so mad they canceled it, but I know that Disney has a lot of plans for Daredevil, so that's why they were like, okay, we're going to go ahead and redo stuff. But it's good. Like, they do direct storylines from the comics and bring them to life. And the Elektra storyline, I mean, it's the biggest... It's one of the most known storylines out there, so I feel like they had to do it, but it was a little redundant in the TV show. But when they do the Bullseye storyline, that is like fucking phenomenal how they do it. And you get to see a character lose himself and then bring himself back up again. So it was a really great season. Even the crossover episodes are really good. The only thing that got me, I think, with the Defender TV shows was they really dropped the ball with Iron Fist. Like, it really, like...
I heard that was really bad.
It was, like, the first season, you're like, okay, it's a spin-off, it's its own show, but it's, like, you know, you give it a first season try. You're like, the second season will be better. You think it's just
starting off slow. And
and then season 2 was just so bad. Like, it had some good points in it where you're like, oh, okay, maybe it's going to get better. And then, honestly, the very last scene of the last episode of season 2 made me forgive everything that was bad in the second season, but then that's when they canceled it. Like, the very last scene, you get to see something so cool that you're like, oh shit, like season 3 is gonna be fucking good, and then they canceled it, and I was so mad.
Yeah, I was watching The Punisher when that was happening, because Punisher is always one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
But I only saw the first season, and then everything started getting canceled. Yeah. So I just didn't watch any of them anymore, because I was like, for what?
I mean, they're worth it. Mm-hmm. I would definitely watch Daredevil. I would watch they have like a crossover episode, so I would watch the crossover episodes. Luke Cage is actually pretty cool.
It was the Defenders, right? They actually had the Defenders series.
Yeah, they actually had a Defenders season.
I heard that was really bad too.
It was okay for what it was. The only thing I didn't like is they kind of leave you at a weird place with Daredevil, and you're like, what the fuck, really?
So other than that, that's the thing with me. That's the thing with me. I don't want to watch something that's not going to get resolved, and it's not even that good.
It gets resolved. You know what I mean? It does get resolved. This is the thing. I would definitely watch it. But it's not going to be like an actual. It's not going to be like an actual. This is the story, and this is how the series ends, and everything gets a good end. This was like a sudden. The only one that's like that is Jessica Jones and then Iron Fist are the only two that are like that. Daredevil, you get a pretty good resolution.
The other one they did like they canceled it before the season was made, right?
No, they canceled it, but they
like-
just leave on cliffhangers so they wanted you to come back for the next season.
Okay.
And then Jessica Jones was just kind of bad in general. Like, I didn't like it at all. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's, like, cool sex scenes, but they're also, like, the story, I just feels like doesn't go anywhere. The bad guy's kind of lame. I don't know. I just didn't understand what was going on that made it so significant. And then, like, I really like the actress that plays
it was significant,
girl.
I think, because it was a female-led.
Yeah, fair enough. I get that.
Series.
But, like,
probably the first and only one up until this point that we've had in a series.
no, we had Supergirl that's been around for a little while now. Legends of Tomorrow's led by a female.
Yeah, but Marvel, though. A Marvel one.
Oh, I guess that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And like even like Black Widow took forever to get a movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now is there even a date? A release
date they moved the release date already. I forgot what it is right now.
A few
but
times. So now that's why.
The movie, from my understanding, the movie's like done. They just need to release it.
No, yeah, it was about to come out.
Yeah,
they started doing that. I think we're like 3 weeks away.
Honestly, I think they should release it and then just release it in drive-ins, and that way people can go see it. Because I went to the drive-in the other day. And it was fucking awesome.
Many drive-ins around.
That's true. That's another thing.
Yeah? Not like movie theaters. Because it's been a dying.
There's a lot of drive-ins that you could that you could buy and restore. Because trust me, I think drive-ins are gonna be around now for a longer. Considering when me and Tasha went the other night, it was packed, man. Like literally, we got there like 15 minutes before the movie started, and we were late to the movie 15 minutes because the line to get in was like a lot. So
I'm sure because that's like the one thing you can do now.
Yeah, I know, right? But it was pretty cool. I hadn't been to the drive-in in a while, and we had I don't
like the drive-in that much. I feel like the movie always looks darker than it would in.
Okay, for sure it does, because that's the one thing I was telling Tasha. I was looking at it, and I was like one of the movies that we saw Knives Out, and Knives Out is already shot like dark, and so. When there's some scenes, I was like, "Fuck!" I feel like I can't see shit.
Yeah, dude. The last movie I saw in the theater was Us.
Oh, for sure.
It's a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's all dark.
Yeah.
You know, so I had a hard time, and even with that, I liked the movie a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like I should have just gone and watched it in the regular theater.
Yeah, I think there's certain movies I would want to still watch in the theater to get like the full experience. But I'm still for now I really like I like the whole thing. We got a couple pizzas.
I do like the
hung out, like I love the sound quality of my car. Like I'm not gonna lie, if you have a good system, it's gonna sound fucking. But when I used to go to the drive-in back in the day, I put money into buying a system for my car. So going and watching action movies was the shit off of my subwoofers, So you can get some pretty good, and it's comfortable. I don't mind sitting in my car like that.
Yeah, it's comfortable. You take food. You can fuck.
Exactly.
It's awesome.
Where else? Where the fuck else?
That is the only thing that kept me going to drive-ins.
Oh, is that you could fuck?
Or just touch each other.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
But it's a more private thing.
Yeah.
And you just park. You don't park close to anyone else.
No.
Who knows what could happen?
Were you like Danny Zuko and Sandra D in Greece?
Exactly. My whole life I've wanted to be like Danny Zuko.
You're doing a great job of doing that.
Sandy.
That's Danny Zuko? Is that who that was?
Yeah. Remember he was like, "Oh, Sandy," and he tried to grab her, and she was like, "No."
Yeah. That's such a bad impression.
I know, but it's funny, right?
It is. It is very funny.
I've accepted that I can't do impressions good.
I would love to see you do
funny.
A stand-up set as Danny Zuko because it would just be so bad.
I should do something like that.
Yeah, that'd be really funny.
I don't even remember how to do stand-up at this point.
You know what's funny is I felt dead inside about stand-up for a while now, and I've kind of told you about that a little bit. And
I have waves of I'm prone to depression.
Mm-hmm.
I have waves of depression now, but then now I'm getting another separate wave, not as hard,
Yeah.
But it's just a little wave of sadness because I miss stand-up so much.
Yeah,
So
I think
it's like,
I was just so burnt out from my journey that I just didn't like a lot of things about myself and about the way that the stand-up, the stand-up experience for me was. And I think now with such a refresher, I saw an open mic event on Facebook, and I was like, oh shit, they're open. And then I thought it like, no, not like a virtual one. I meant like to go. And I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna see if they're gonna honor this. And then they're like, oh no, we just forgot to cancel the event. I was like, fuck. Like I was
and it was
actually
like set up for a long time.
Yeah, I was really excited. I was like, oh shit. I know there's gonna be like 3 people there, but I don't give a fuck right now. Like getting on
No, I think
stage would be.
I mean, at least comics, there was going to be a lot.
Oh, probably if they, yeah.
It was going to be packed.
I have heard through the grapevine that there are still open mics if you live in LA, like live open mics that you can go to. Which I mean, you're not gonna catch me there right now because I don't feel like dying. But I thought it was pretty cool. Like in my head, I'm just like, fuck, like.
Yeah, I'm sure, dude. People are like hanging out with each other and shit.
Yeah.
You don't think like 10 comics are getting together somewhere to do sets like that?
I know.
And people find out. Yeah, I'm sure it's happening. You know, and I mean, I don't blame them.
No, for sure. I get it. Like, honestly, like, with how excited I got just to go on stage, I'm like, fuck it, dude. Set up a garage mic. Have everyone stand 6 feet away from you on the.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah.
I've heard
Exactly.
in San Diego that there's a drive-in that has actually let people do an open mic at the drive-in. So like underneath their the theater fucking what's it called, the screen, they have like a little platform, and so they let the comics go up on the platform, and then everybody in their car can hear them.
That's super cool.
Yeah, actually. I know. I was like, fuck, that would be so fucking sick.
I would definitely do that.
Yeah, for sure.
If it was somewhere closer.
Oh, yeah.
I would definitely do that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'd be all about it.
Yeah.
So.
Because then you're like in an open space. Like you probably feel like you're playing like a theater show. Because it's going to be such a big thing, you know?
It would be cool, too, because it would force everybody to do actual material and you couldn't rely on crowd work. So
oh my God, no. People will find out like, oh, look at this asshole's taillight don't work or something.
Look at the guy in the Tesla. What are you going to recharge your car later, douchebag?
Yeah, exactly. It's all going to be bad like that. You know?
Yeah.
It's going to be the same bad crowd work we always get.
Yeah, right.
You know? Yeah.
What,
you got to be like,
do you remember
good at crowd work, real good at crowd work for me to like it.
Do you remember what one of your favorite crowd work lines you ever said was?
I remember the feeling, and I remember where I was at. I don't remember what I said. But I was at No Clue Brewery. That used to have a show that Ezekiel Echeverria runs. Shout out to Ezekiel.
Yeah, shout out.
There was this lady, like typical older in her 40s, white lady that like still tries to act younger.
Boomer Karen was hanging out.
Yeah, like a Karen type of
yeah.
That's kind of buzzed, right? So she has to talk to every comic and respond to everything.
Yeah.
And once I told her, I was like, dude, I got this. Like, I actually have a thing planned out that I want to say, you know?
Yeah.
So like, you don't have to talk to me. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know? And that got laughs, but she kept doing it. And then I said something else.
Yeah.
About like, it was something like I don't remember how I worded it, how I delivered it, but it was something about like, how much attention do you need? So we could give it to you right now, so we could keep going with the thing. Yeah. And I got a lot of laughs. It was the way I said it too. I got a lot of laughs, and she shut the fuck up. Rest of the show, I think she left. Like, there was another comic, and then she left.
Oh, that's
you know,
nice.
It was like she just couldn't hold it in. Probably.
Yeah.
It was probably like that meme of that kid that's trying not to cough.
Yeah.
He's all red and there's a vein popping out of his forehead.
Yeah.
She was probably doing it like, you know. But I don't remember what the joke was though.
Yeah. For me, it was at the Hideaway. I think some girl like was like kind of the same thing. Like I would say something and then she would like respond to like just me saying things. And I think after like the second or third time, I was like, she like said something, but like about me. And that's when I like went in and I was like, okay, you look like you live inside. So damn it. I said, you look like you live in one of the aisles at Walmart or something like that. And then she like shut up immediately and the whole room started laughing at her. Funny. I was like, yeah, that's right, bitch. So
you know what? I remembered another one. That was at Flappers.
Oh, okay.
At an open mic. But it was full. Remember Flappers used to get full?
Yeah.
But it was like a Sunday one. But it was pretty full, and this guy went up, and I don't know if he had like just started or like he hadn't been doing it for that long.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't good, right? And he was saying some joke about how his coworkers don't like him or something, right?
Yeah.
But like this guy was like looked like a typical college frat boy, white college frat boy, Republican parents, shit like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he looked like that, and then I was like, I don't think it's because of a certain thing he said. I was like, I think it's because you look like you will vote to legalize the purge. And everybody fucking, that shit exploded. The room exploded.
That's what's up.
I think that was one of my favorite ones.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do miss stand-up. I'm excited for it to come back. I'm excited to see what it's going to be like. I think it's going to be kind of shitty for a little while, especially in the beginning.
I think it's going to be harder to get booked and to get.
Oh, for sure. I 100% expect to be back at having to hit the pavement with shows, like having to earn my spots again, having to prove that I still have it after this time. I know that there are some people that aren't taking this time to write. I mean, do whatever you have to do. If you need time off, take it now. If you need like to get yourself in the mental place that's better, take your time right now. Because honestly, once the gates are open, it's gonna be a bloodbath with having to. You have to come out strong out of this, and I don't.
Yeah, exactly. So you gotta, if you don't have to work right now, but take care of your mental state, because you're gonna need that. You're gonna need to be okay when you're able to do that. But I think the thing is, like, I think it's gonna be a slow build-up.
I think so too, but I think
like how place is open, you know.
The thing is though, like everyone, like if you're everyone who's crushing is gonna float to the top though. Is what I'm getting at. It's like you have to just have that. Like even if you're not doing new jokes, at least be in a place where if you have jokes that you're already doing that know well, be in a place where you know you can crush them. Because the thing is that you're gonna see a lot of people coming out. You're gonna see a lot of new comics. For damn sure. Yeah. The people are like, oh shit, everyone almost died. I gotta try my dream. And you gotta. The thing is with the oversaturation of people out there trying to get your spots. The people that only are doing great are gonna be getting the good spots. So I just think it's a fact of how it's gonna be.
I saw Bert Kreischer talking about it. It was interesting and it made a lot of sense. He said it's gonna be like a reset. At least for the bigger comics, you know, there's gonna be comics that were getting the spots in theaters or like headlining clubs. Those guys aren't gonna get those spots anymore.
Nope.
Because you're not gonna be able to do bigger places. So the bigger guys, even the bigger guys, are gonna have to go down a notch to do those spots. The bigger guys are all gonna take the theaters. The guys that are only doing theaters are gonna start doing clubs.
Yep.
You know, and also the big guys like him, Tom, you know, Joey Diaz, Rogan, are gonna have to do more theater work, more and more club work.
Oh, for sure.
Not necessarily because they couldn't get theaters, but to help the clubs stay open.
Yep. To get people in seats to come and make
up for everything
spend the money
that they missed. Yeah,
and that's the thing
they
is
come for like good comics, and those comics are gonna have to kind of save the scene.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's the thing is like, if it's affecting them, it's definitely gonna affect. It's gonna have a trickle down effect and affect everyone else, and that's just how it's gonna be. And you guys got to be ready for that.
Just like Reaganomics.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna get rid of the middle class of comics.
Well, that's the thing. It sucks. I feel really bad for any comic that was on the cusp of moving into theaters or moving into
Or
bigger
moving
spots at
into
comedy clubs.
headlining,
Yeah,
headlining clubs.
Yeah.
Anyone that was about to get there, not gonna happen for another 5 years.
Yep.
For us, getting good spots in clubs, not gonna happen for a while.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm already older.
Yeah.
I'm 30.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
So it's like for me, it's definitely
maybe a lot of people are gonna quit too.
I think that's a possibility. I think you got to be definitely way more thoughtful of how you spend your time. Like it sucks because you have to hang out a little bit to like so people know who you are or whatever.
Right.
But now I definitely am only going to hang out in places I know that it's going to benefit me in putting my time in there. I'm not going to waste my time.
Kind of doing that at like the certain spots, and not to talk bad about them, but if there's a spot that I only use to try out a new joke, I'm gonna get out of there as soon as I do my time. Honestly.
Yeah, if I'm not there to, it's something that's gonna be benefiting me, or I'm sorry, I got other places to be. That's just how it's gonna have to be like that if you want to kind of move. I feel doing it at 30 feels weird, especially at the level I'm at, because it's not like I have a level of success where it's like, oh, I'm going to be back at it, baby. It's like, no, I got to earn my place back. And I wasn't even very far. And, 5 years is something.
I mean, I was barely starting to get booked in clubs, but like the smaller shows.
Yeah.
The smaller independently produced shows, but like at clubs, I was barely doing some of that.
Yeah. And
mostly it was bar shows and stuff like that, And even last year I couldn't do a lot of that because I couldn't move around, but I was at that level very, very, very early,
Mm-hmm.
And now I think, I don't know, we'll see. Like I said, I think a lot of people are going to quit too.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. So you can catch us back at the Ice House.
I feel like we're just rambling. Cut all this shit from the podcast.
Well, no, I think it's good
go.
It's good to see, what we're going through and where our headspace is at, especially with, us being comedians and
or lower level comics.
Exactly.
Which there's a lot of. I'm just gonna say this right now. I know there's comics listening to this that don't think that they're lower level comics because they got big egos. You are, and you guys know who I'm talking about. And I know you're probably not listening to this because you feel like you're too cool to listen to another comics podcast. So, suck on that.
All right. Well,
lower level comic. I don't care how many shows you run.
Well, on that note,
I don't care how many bar shows you run.
On that note, I think we're all set up for today.
I think we're good.
We're good. So thank you.
I'm gonna stop talking shit now.
So thank you guys for listening. If this is your first time, thank you for tuning in. Definitely, we're gonna keep doing this throughout the quarantine. It's kind of rough on us because we can't really get too many more things out besides doing the podcast right now. So a lot of the stuff we had planned for this year is kind of moving back. But as soon as things kind of chillax a little more, we're gonna have the opportunity to move forward with more content and more things going on.
Yeah, man. Also, quick shout out, last thing. Quick shout out to the song you guys heard on the intro. It's a new song on the intro. I love it. I'm obsessed with that song.
Yeah, it's a dope song.
So shout out to PsychoSloth for giving us that song. You guys can find his music, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, anywhere. PsychoSloth, exactly how it sounds. All one word. Mm-hmm. Dope song. It's called Batman. If you want to hear the full song, check it out. It's awesome. That's it. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us. Subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to this. Follow us or subscribe or rate us on iTunes. Tell your friends. That's it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you.
Fighting for TLBG women. Do the things that gotta and will it. Trans rights are human rights. My teeth shine like movie lights. You can do it big if you do it right. Up close, I get a truest sight.